A quiet night turns into the beginning of a nightmare when mysterious organisms fall from the sky and scatter across the city. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody understands what they want. But within hours, people begin disappearing, and something far more disturbing is happening behind closed doors. These creatures aren't looking for shelter. They're looking for hosts. One of those hosts is supposed to be an ordinary high school student named Shinichi. While he sleeps peacefully in his room, a strange parasite crawls toward him and tries to enter through his ear. Luckily, his headphones block the path. The creature immediately changes course and heads for his nose instead. Just before it succeeds, Shinichi wakes up. At first, he assumes it's some bizarre insect. He tries to get rid of it, but the creature reacts with shocking speed. Before he can escape, it launches itself onto his arm and begins burrowing inside. Terrified, Shinichi wraps a cord tightly around his arm, hoping to stop it from spreading deeper into his body. For a moment it works. Then his mother rushes into the room after hearing the commotion. Confused by what she sees, she removes the cord from his arm. That single decision changes Shinichi's life forever. The next morning something feels wrong. His arm doesn't feel like his own anymore. He tries to ignore it and continue his day, but strange things keep happening. During class, his eraser slips from his desk. Before he can bend down, his arm suddenly stretches out and grabs it on its own. The shock only grows during basketball practice when he makes an impossible shot with perfect accuracy. Now he knows something is seriously wrong. Desperate for answers, Shinichi searches online for explanations. Instead, he witnesses something that nearly stops his heart. An eye suddenly opens in the palm of his hand. Panicking, he grabs a knife and considers cutting into his own arm. Before he can act, his hand begins transforming. Fingers twist and reshape themselves. A mouth appears. One finger grows an eye while the others move like tiny limbs. The thing inside him is alive. Shinichi begs the creature to leave, but its response is devastating. The parasite explains that it has already replaced every cell in his right arm. His original hand no longer exists. The realization hits like a truck. The following day, the creature introduces itself. Since it lives in his right hand, it chooses the name Mijai, meaning right. Oddly enough, Mijai isn't a mindless monster. It's intelligent, curious, it wants knowledge. It asks Shinichi to take it to libraries so it can study human society. It learns at an incredible rate, absorbing information faster than any human could imagine. But while Mijai is busy learning, the rest of its species is doing something horrifying. Unlike Mijai, most parasites successfully reach the brain. Once there, they completely consume their host's identity and take control of the body. These creatures blend into society while secretly feeding on human beings. One afternoon, Mijai senses another parasite nearby. Curious, it convinces Shinichi to investigate. Their search leads them to a grim butcher shop hidden away from public view. The building feels wrong from the moment they arrive. Inside, they discover the truth. A parasite is casually eating human remains. Shinichi freezes. The creature notices him and quickly disguises itself as a normal man. At first, it assumes Shinichi is another parasite and even offers him human flesh. But after getting closer, it realizes something unusual. Shinichi is still human. The atmosphere instantly changes. The parasite becomes hostile, and Mijai immediately warns Shinichi to run. Before he can escape, the creature attacks. Its body twists into a terrifying combat form, launching razor-sharp weapons from every direction. A brutal fight erupts. Mijai transforms Shinichi's fingers into deadly blades and counters every strike. After a fierce clash, the enemy parasite falls. The battle is over, but new problems arrive almost immediately. The noise attracts attention, and police are called to the scene. Shinichi barely escapes before officers arrive and discover the gruesome evidence left behind. The following day, Mijai senses another parasite. This one is much closer. The source turns out to be a new substitute teacher named Ryoko Tamura. Unlike the butcher, Ryoko doesn't attack. She calmly approaches Shinichi and reveals that she knows exactly what he and Mijai are. Even stranger, she invites them to a private meeting. There, Shinichi meets two more parasites. One is Shimada, a student his own age who appears completely normal. The other is a dangerous parasite calling himself Mr. A. Ryoko explains that many parasites simply want to survive without attracting attention. She proposes cooperation rather than conflict, but the conversation takes an even stranger turn when she reveals that she's pregnant, a parasite carrying a human child. Even she doesn't understand how it's possible. For Ryoko, the child represents something important, an opportunity to understand what parasites truly are and why they exist. Shinichi wants nothing to do with any of it. Before leaving, Ryoko delivers a chilling warning. If he interferes with their plans, she won't hesitate to eliminate everyone around him. As frightening as Ryoko is, Mijai is far more concerned about Mr. A. During the meeting, he sensed overwhelming hostility from him. That concern proves justified. Days later, Mr. A begins stalking Shinichi. The moment Mijai confirms his identity, he orders Shinichi to run. A deadly chase follows. Eventually, Shinichi becomes exhausted, forcing Mijai to take control. The confrontation can no longer be avoided. Mr. A reveals that he knows they killed the butcher parasite. In his eyes, they are a threat that must be removed. The battle begins immediately. Blades collide in a storm of attacks. During the fight, Shinichi notices an opening. While Mr. A focuses entirely on Mijai, he ignores the human standing in front of him. Shinichi seizes the chance. Grabbing a metal rod, he drives it through Mr. A's chest. The parasite collapses. Shaken by what he's done, Shinichi flees the scene without checking whether his enemy is truly dead. That mistake costs him everything. Barely alive, Mr. A waits for another host. The person who finds him is Shinichi's mother. Trying to help an injured stranger, she unknowingly becomes his next victim. That night, Mijai senses a parasite approaching their home. As the footsteps draw closer, Shinichi prepares himself. Then the door opens. It's his mother. At least it looks like her. Mijai immediately realizes the truth and urges Shinichi to attack, but he refuses to believe it. He desperately clings to hope until Mr. A reveals himself. The parasite is now living inside her body. Shinichi breaks down. He apologizes for their recent argument. He tells her how much he loves her. Moments later, the parasite strikes. A blade pierces straight through Shinichi's chest. He collapses. Everything fades. But Mijai refuses to let his host die. For the first time, Mijai leaves Shinichi's hand and enters the massive wound. Using its own cells, it rebuilds damaged organs and repairs his body from within. Hours later, Shinichi wakes up. The wound is gone, yet something inside him has changed. Consumed by grief, Shinichi seeks answers from Ryoko. Instead, he discovers that she knowingly exposed him to Mr. A as part of another experiment. His mother's death meant nothing to her. Enraged, he threatens her with a knife. Ryoko remains completely calm. What interests her now isn't revenge. It's Shinichi himself. After surviving a fatal injury, he's becoming something neither fully human nor fully parasite. Unable to find peace, Shinichi dedicates himself to hunting Mr. A. During his search, he stumbles upon a political rally. At first glance, it appears ordinary. Then Mijai senses the truth. Every important figure on stage is a parasite. Not one, not two. An entire political organization. The realization is terrifying. These creatures aren't hiding anymore. They're moving into positions of power. Soon afterward, Shinichi returns to school and crosses paths with Shimada again. The parasite transfer student continues pretending to be human, but Ryoko has a hidden reason for keeping him there. She's studying Shinichi. Every encounter is another experiment. Meanwhile, Mijai reveals troubling news. Ever since saving Shinichi's life, it requires long periods of sleep to recover. If danger appears while Mijai is asleep, Shinichi will be completely alone. At the same time, rumors begin spreading among parasites that humans may have discovered a way to identify them through their hair. Their secret won't stay hidden forever. For a brief period, Shinichi tries reconnecting with Satomi, the girl who cares about him deeply. Together they shop, laugh, and almost enjoy a normal evening. Then a puppy is struck by a car. Shinichi rushes to help. When he realizes the animal is already dead, he coldly throws it away. Satomi is stunned. The boy she knows would never react like that. Later, Mijai confirms the disturbing truth. Its cells have spread throughout Shinichi's body. He's growing stronger, faster, and more durable. But he's also losing parts of his humanity. His emotions are fading. Meanwhile, Ryoko's pregnancy draws attention. After losing her teaching position, she returns to her family's home. Her parents immediately sense something is wrong. This isn't their daughter anymore. When they panic, Ryoko responds with ruthless efficiency, eliminating them without hesitation. Elsewhere, disaster strikes at school. During an art class, one of the students students accidentally pulls a strand of hair from Shimada's head. The hair twists unnaturally. Everyone sees it. The secret is exposed. Shimada calmly counts the people in the room. Then he transforms. Chaos erupts. Students scramble for their lives as Shimada attacks. Satomi manages to injure him with acid, but the damage only makes him more dangerous. By the time Shinichi arrives, the classroom has become a nightmare. Friends and classmates lie dead. The sight shatters him. Grief quickly becomes rage. Determined to stop Shimada, Shinichi launches into battle. The fight is vicious and relentless. At one point, he is even separated from Mijai, only for them to reconnect moments later. Just when the conflict reaches its peak, Ryoko intervenes. Deciding Shimada has become a liability, she detonates an explosive. The building erupts in flames. Shimada survives. So does Shinichi. Knowing the monster is still alive, Shinichi prepares a final plan. Using Mijai's abilities, he creates a makeshift bow and launches a steel projectile from an impossible distance. The shot lands perfectly. This time Shimada stays down. With the threat gone, Ryoko finally reveals Mr. A's location. The long-awaited confrontation has arrived. When Shinichi finds him, both understand exactly why they're there. This will end with only one survivor. Unfortunately, Mijai is reaching its limit. Moments before the battle, it falls asleep. For the first time, Shinichi must fight alone. The battle pushes him to his absolute limit. Despite his enhanced abilities, Mr. A gradually gains the advantage. Death seems inevitable. Then something extraordinary happens. For a brief moment, the remaining fragment of Shinichi's mother resurfaces inside the parasite's body. Even now, she protects her son. The opening is all Shinichi needs. Accepting that his mother can never return, he makes the hardest choice of his life. With one final attack, he tears Mr. A apart. The nightmare finally ends. Afterward, Shinichi visits Satomi in the hospital and quietly promises to keep fighting so nobody else suffers the way they did. But peace remains far away. A photographer secretly captures pictures of him communicating with Mijai. The parasites continue gaining political power, and their leader finally reaches a terrifying conclusion. Humanity itself is the problem. The parasites believe the world would be better without humans. And if that's true, then the real war is only beginning. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend. See you in the next recap.